Welcome to Squirrel Hunting Volume 3. It's early Saturday morning and I've just pulled up onto this farm again, and I've decided this morning before I do any shooting that I'm just going to check the zero on the rifle. I've got some bottle tops set out that I've paced at 30 yards and I've just range found them that you can see there, and they are within 30 yards plus or minus a yard. So I'm just going to take 2 shots and just make sure the rifle is fully zeroed. And as you can see, it's spot on. One more shot just to prove that wasn't lucky shot on my part. Okay, I'm happy with the accuracy of my rifle. So I decide now to make my way to the first part of the shoot this morning. And as I'm on my way there, I spot this squirrel on this track, foraging for nuts. Looking for his breakfast, I should imagine. But he doesn't hang around long, and he's gone before you know it. So I decided just to slowly make my way down this track, taking my time, just to see if he'd reappear, because sometimes when they run up trees, you'll see them move again once you get nearer to them. So I'm just slowly making my way down this track towards him, trying not to stand on any of the leaves or crack any twigs underfoot. Just going slowly. And there he is, I've spotted him. I've managed to get within 10 feet of him here. And you'll see that he's quite well camouflaged until the camera zooms right in on him. You can barely make him out. There he is, he's sat there, thinks that I can't see him. So I take aim. I take him with a nice clean shot.
This was the squirrel you just saw me shoot again here. I caught this one in the neck. Managed to sneak up to this one within about 10 feet of him. He ran up the tree and paused. I took a nice shot at him. Sometimes if you go really slow you can get this close to the squirrels. But as you can see there, I aimed for his head and the pellet actually struck low because I was that close. But it killed him cleanly. That's the important thing. Right then, we're going to have a look and see if we can find some more.
So I've made my way here to a different patch of woodland that I haven't actually shot on this farm before. And I've seen a few crows and pigeons flying around, so I've decided to go full camo for this next clip, just to give me a bit more of an advantage, hoping that the pigeons or crows may settle in some nearby trees for me to get a shot at them. So I put my face veil and my gloves on, just to hide my outline. And off camera, whilst I was sitting here, I just did a few range found a few points just so I know roughly my distances here. So now I'm just sitting and waiting to see if anything decides to move. And I'm not sat for too long when I've spotted this rabbit here. He's 70 yards away, but I can't take a shot at him because the angle that I'm sat at, there's a bit of branch right in my way and I can't quite get a clean headshot at him, so I have to wait a while to see if he'll push his way down. This is 20 minutes or so later and he seems quite content and doesn't seem too bothered about moving. He's there basking in the sun. Something to my right hand side catches my attention, and I've spotted this squirrel here. He sat out at 50 yards, so I swing myself over a little bit, line the camera up on him, and I'm going to take aim at his head and try and take him with a 50-yard headshot. Just as I'm about to squeeze the trigger, he decides to start moving around. He goes into this little hole and I think I've lost him, and I'm just about to turn the camera off when his little head pops back out. And I take him with a nice clean shot there. As you can hear, the pellet hit its mark perfectly and it drops stone dead. So I take the camera back over to where the rabbit's sitting to see if my shot has spooked him. But still, he's quite content to be sat there, preening himself. It's like he didn't even hear the gunshot at all. Just goes to show how good the silencers are on these rifles these days. So I give him another 10 minutes and I decide he's not going to move. So I decide to get up and try and stalk my way up this tree line using the shadow to cover my approach. And I've managed to get within 30 yards of him here. I place the crosshairs on his shoulder, but I'm not standing on a level platform, and I slightly move a little bit as I squeeze the trigger. Resulting in me pulling the shot slightly off line of his heart and lungs. And I quickly reload. And I have to take him with a second shot here through his shoulder. And I dispatch him cleanly. This does happen sometimes. It doesn't always go to plan. But luckily I managed to get that second shot off, which dispatched him humanely. And I make my way forward here. And you can see the impact of that shot made him jump so hard he landed right in all this brash. I retrieve him. So I've been in this area for about an hour now and decide to retrieve my kills and make my way forward to another woodland. And as I'm going through this section here, I spot something you don't often see. It's a white rabbit. A lot of people would think that this would be a tame rabbit, but it isn't. It is a wild one, and I know there's lots of them around this 1,000-acre farm I'm shooting on here. And I would have shot him, but the farmer wants to keep the white ones. He likes seeing them around the place, so I must respect his wishes, as I don't want to lose my shooting permission. So I decide to have a bit of fun with this rabbit and see how close I can actually get to him before he runs for cover. I managed to get within about 15 yards of him and he's off. So I decide to carry on through the woodland, and eventually I come to the end of the woodland and there's a little opening here that you can see me coming through. And I'm just slowly making my way across here, as I often see squirrels and rabbits in this particular area, and something again has caught my eye. So I raise the rifle and shoulder it just to see what it is that's moving. I've got to within 25 yards here of this squirrel that you can see. Just see the back of his tail there. So I start giving him little squeaks to try and make him lift his head, so he'll just sit still for a second so I can get a headshot at him. But he's too preoccupied with foraging for his nuts again, and just keeps on moving from place to place, not sitting to give me a shot. At this point in time I've actually got the rifle shouldered and I'm going to take him with a free hand, and the rifle is starting to get a little heavy now, but I've practiced holding the rifle like this on many a shot, and it's not long and he presents me with a clean shot. And I take him perfectly. And I make my way forward here to retrieve my kill.
That's the squirrel you just saw me shoot there. I had to wait a little while for him to give me time to present me with a shot, because he just wouldn't stop for long enough to present me with a nice headshot. He just kept on bouncing around and moving about. So I had to shoulder the rifle and just hold on aim. And just wait for him to present me, basically. You heard me giving him some little squeaks there. The idea of that was just to make him stop. I was just trying to think of something to make him sit still for a minute just so I could have a shot at him. But it didn't work. He was too engrossed in finding or foraging around on the floor for the nuts, I should imagine. But eventually he did stop and present me with a shot. And that's where the pellet struck, right behind the ear. In and out, look. Another lovely, well shot squirrel there.
I wanted to take a moment here to show you the land, some of the land that I'm privileged to be shooting over here. Those woodlands that I'm viewing for you now, the ones I've just come through, they're the ones I've already covered earlier on in the video today. It really is a beautiful part of the country here. It's absolutely stunning. And I'm very privileged to be able to shoot this farm. On this side of the woodland that I'm coming across here, I've never shot before. So I'm going to try and have a look and just see if there's anything moving around in there in this next part of the video. And I'm slowly making my way down that edge of that woodland there, when I get a little bit of a surprise. I've spotted this fox here. I decide to give him some squeaks to see if I can make him come in a bit closer. But he knows I'm there. I've managed to get within 30 yards of him here, and I've only been able to do this because I always hunt with the wind in my face, and he couldn't hear me come in. It's not very often you can get this close to a fox in the daytime. But he's not stupid, and he's certainly not going to come any closer to have a look. And then he's off.
What a beautiful animal.
Some of the best parts of hunting are not always what you shoot.
Just a little tip for any sort of novice shooters out there that are learning. If you ever come across reeds like this in a field, you'll only ever find these in boggy patches of land. So don't learn the hard way like I did and go wandering through them when I was a novice and end up to my waist in mud. So just a little tip for any novices that are learning.
This next clip is quite funny. I find this squirrel here, I take a shot at him and I miss him. And as he's running off up the tree, I'm sure he's actually laughing at me. Happy that I've missed him. And he does this all the way to the top. Just shows these animals can be quite comical sometimes. Hopefully it won't be the same result the next time I see this fella. So I've come to the end of my shoot. Just the 3 squirrels and 1 rabbit today. In case any of you are wondering why the rabbit's not actually in this footage, I've taken him out as I'm going to do another DVD with him, which you will see on YouTube shortly. But I've had a brilliant day and I've learnt a lot. And some of the best things you get in hunting are not always what you shoot and what goes into the game bag. I've managed to get within 30 yards of a fox, which has made my day. I've managed to miss a squirrel and have him laugh at me, which I found quite comical. And I've just had a great day out. This is the perfect end to the perfect day's airgun hunting. So until next time, enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one.